Hello Big Macs, welcome back to another album review. So yes, Big Macs, recently there have been a lot of albums that have come out and I'm slowly starting to catch up on them, and I hope that you guys are ready for them because there's probably going to be a lot of album reviews coming out on this channel because there has been a lot of fucking awesome albums coming out in 2018 and I have now finally been able to catch up on them. So I am just all about this. I apologize that some of you guys have been waiting for a very long time for some of these videos, but they're finally going to be coming out now. Which kind of brings me to this video. I felt like it was very necessary that this would be the first one that I released because this is easily one of my favorite albums of the year, and that is from A Crowd of Rebellion with their new album, Ill. And my God, this album, just again, not to spoil anything, but to spoil the entire video. This album is just so good. There's not one bad song on this album, though thinking about it, there's not one bad song from A Crowd of Rebellion, so I'm not sure why I'm surprised by there's not a bad song on this album. But really, every song that I've heard from A Crowd of Rebellion has been amazing, and Ill just like raised the bar to that because this album is amazing. So to do what I always do, again, wrote down the notes in this trusty notebook here. This is just going to be based off of my first listen to the album. There have been a few listens since then, but this, I'm just going to go through the notes of what I wrote down based off of my first listen to the album, and we'll go from there. So first, let's start off with their prologue, Insomnia, and this is just a nice, very ambient, kind of environmentally sound at the beginning and kind of throughout this part into the album, their introduction to the album. I don't know, that was so hard for me to say. Like it has, and then they introduce like this music box into it, which just gives it this like nice little touch. And then I really like how they have this like kind of like piano wrecking sound. Like it sounds like someone just like dropped something on a piano. And then it goes into this more electronic beat with the piano playing on top of it. And the piano is just so beautiful. It just sounds so good, so nice, clean and crisp. And then it switches, like this introduction kind of switches up 3 different times. Like as I was saying, it has the more ambient kind of music box, and then it goes into more electronic beat and piano. And then they introduce the guitars and the vocals, and I kind of got chills during that part. Like here. It's just so good. And then I love this part here. Like it's like a ping pong effect with like the vocals just like playing at different timings. It was just a very nice introduction into this, and then it breaks into amazingness, which this is like kind of a weird slow build up, and that's only their intro. Like it goes from that and then you get this amazingness. Like this is how they're opening the album, and it is amazing, and I am all for this. Now for the next 2 songs, they're the 2 songs that I've reacted to before that are on this album, so I'll talk about them a bit like I normally do, but I'm going to try not to spend too much time on them just because there, I think, are 13 songs on this album, and there's a lot to get through and a lot of awesomeness to get through. So the first one of those songs next up on the album is their song Ill, and this song is fucking intense. Like it starts off kind of intense, but then it breaks into even more awesomeness. Like they have the intro and then it like has this stuttery guitar pause and then into the song. So it's just like what A Crowd of Rebellion always does best is just punch you in the face with a wall of awesomeness, and you love every second of it. It's very apparent at the beginning of this song and a lot of songs that they have, but this is especially noticeable in this song, and I love it. And there also are organs in this song, which I'm not sure if I talked about during my first reaction video to this song, but for some reason, the organs that are in this song, they remind me a lot of like kind of like a Ganon's castle, something from like Zelda, that kind of a sound. I want to see if you guys feel the same way. Like these ones. Like those just, for some reason, just always remind me of like a Ganon's castle kind of thing, or like a Legend of Zelda. So I want to know if you guys also feel the same way about that as I do. And then as well, this song, pretty much every song, but especially in this song, they have such good dynamics. Like they know when to bring it down, when to bring it up, when to kind of like distract you one way and then draw your attention another way. Like A Crowd of Rebellion is really good with their panning and their mixing, and it's very apparent in this song, but also throughout pretty much every song that they've ever made. I'm gonna probably touch on this a lot, but I figured I might as well just start it here, is that the screams and the vocals are just so godlike. Like, there's no way that these guys are real. Like, they cannot be real with the vocals and the screams that they have. It's just, it's not possible. And I think probably one of my favorite parts of this song is this part right here, where it just like has a lot of crazy like fills and guitar licks and then goes into amazingness. Like that part, I don't know why, I just really like how it's like and then like each kind of instrument has their own like part of doing that, and then it goes into the just I don't know what sound that was. It was a sound that my body needed to make. And then as well, kind of like how in the intro they have a really nice piano break. Like they've done a really throughout this album, they've done a lot of clever things with the piano, and in this song they have like a nice little piano break just thrown in there as well, which again goes along with the dynamics as I was talking about. And then the ending in this song is just very fucking intense. Like that was the face that needed to be made while listening to that. But yes, overall, again, this was another one of my favorites. I think what I should say, I'm just going to tell you right now, every song on this album has a star next to it. If you don't know what that means, again, I put stars next to songs that I thought were amazing on the album. So literally every song has that, but there is one song that we'll get to that later. But now we'll move on to the next song, which is a song Sign, which was the second song that they did a video for, and that I made a video for as well. And that song easily became one of my favorite A Crowd of Rebellion songs that I've heard so far, because it was just so well done. Like the double kick at the beginning is amazing. The drums in this song are amazing and intense, and like the drummer just goes ham on the snare. I really need to learn their names, because if I'm gonna be this obsessed with them, I really need to start saying their names. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. I'm gonna have a hard time learning their names if I can't even say learning their names. But I feel like A Crowd of Rebellion I need to learn their names. And another thing that I did talk about when I made the reaction video to this song, that was something that I wasn't expecting, is that the screamer was singing in this. I'm sure that he has sang in a few other songs before. I might not have just noticed it or seen it in a video. I think having the video with this song helps, because you see him singing in it, and his voice is so fucking good too. This just goes back to what I was saying, where A Crowd of Rebellion cannot be real. They're just way too talented that it just can't be humanly possible. And then again, as I was saying, with the dynamics where they kind of distract you one way or the other, they have this really nice break of like piano and strings that lead you into this breakdown, and again, it just like punches you in the face. Like, that's just so good. And I like how the strings are kind of like on one side and the piano's doing the same thing on the other side. So it's just like this like effect. I don't know, it's just so well done, and then you just get hit in the face with a fucking amazing breakdown. So I don't know how much more impressed I can be with A Crowd of Rebellion than I already am, but I know that they're going to do it. And then in this song too, they do also have a guitar solo, which is amazing and impressive. And the guitars in this album, and pretty much any instrument that you can think of that's in this album, is done amazingly. And they just have a fucking amazing guitar solo in here as well. And then I loved that there's like this like kind of like reverby transition. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Like that. And then it goes in, like, that's like, listen to that. And then they like have that ghost note into the vocals to go back into the song. It's just so clever and amazing. Like, these guys know what they're doing. And then too, the last note that I wrote down here is one of my favorite A Crowd of Rebellion songs, because if you just listen to it and you'll understand why. And now, next up, we're gonna go on to the song called Raccoon Dead, and that's just, I don't know, I kind of like that name. It's just funny for some reason. But I fucking love the intro into this song. It is so good. It starts off very like electronic-y, metal-y, and then just, again, wall of craziness. Like, it's just so good. Like, oh my God. I don't know how they do it. like for some reason too, this song kind of reminded me of it had like what's it? It kind of had like a overall feeling of the Gazette, their new album Ninth. It kind of had like it could have been a song off of that album. And if you know how I feel about that album and you know how I feel about the Gazette, then just everything, yes. And another thing too that I liked, I don't know what it is with like groups recently are just like throwing in these like great random things that you sometimes don't notice at first. Like what was it, Monsta X with like the yee-haw that they threw in one of their songs. In A Crowd of Rebellion, there's like this like ha, like in Raccoon Dead, they have a like ha sound that's in it. I'm not going to try to find it. You guys need to go and listen to it to find it. And another thing too is that there's like this subtle kind of like fast guitar in this song. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I just wanted to listen to the rest of the song. Let's get back to this review. I also wrote down here that this seems like a song that would be crazy to be at live because they just have so many cool parts. You know that everyone probably just goes crazy for each different part. In A Crowd of Rebellion, if you either wanted to bring me to Japan to come see one of your concerts or if you wanted to have a concert here, both of those are a yes from me. And then again, like they know what they're doing because in this song they have like this like whisper that goes into an electro. I wrote whispers into electro, yes. All the stuttery vocals, crazy piano. So that sounds like the notes of a crazy person, which I guess is kind of accurate, but there's so much that happened in the like later half of this song that was just so amazing that I'll try to give you a preview of it, but I really want you to listen to it for yourselves. Like this, like, and then the stuttery vocals. And then crazy piano. Like, it's just so well done. And like the stuttery vocals too. The thing that I liked about it, as I was saying, how they're fucking clever with panning and mixing, is that it doesn't just stay in one side. It kind of like goes back and forth. So you're kind of just like drawing your attention each way, and then they do what they always do, and then like bring everything back into the middle and just hit you in the face with this wall of awesomeness. And the last thing that I wrote down here is kind of explaining how I was saying that it sounds like I'm a crazy person, is that this song kind of goes like everywhere, but it like still works and is awesome. Like, you know how sometimes bands try to do a lot of different things with a song, but it just doesn't really like fit, and you're kind of like, okay, they tried a lot of things, I think, to try to like just find something that works, but none of it really worked together. But A Crowd of Rebellion knows how to take all of that and put it together amazingly, and it is very apparent in Raccoon Dead. And now, next up, we move on to the song, I believe you pronounce it Anemia. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. But this song starts off with a nice, like, electronic drum beat and, like, the guitars that just go, like, dan, dan, dan. And then the drums are still, like, doing their thing. It's just a really clever intro. And then it goes into this, like, craziness. And then one of the things that I love most about this song is the transition into the first verse with the drums, how they kind of have, like, this rim shot thing, like here. It's just, again, so fucking clever. Like, it's just a nice transition into it instead of just doing the, like, basic, okay, now hit the cymbal and go into the verses. It's like, nope, we're going to bring it down, kind of throw you for a loop, and then go into the verse. So, again, just very nicely done. And in this song, especially, as well throughout the entire album, but especially in Anemia, the bass is so dirty in this song. Like, oh my God, it just goes, there's no way any member of A Crowd of Rebellion is human. They all have to be robots. They can't be real. This is not humanly possible. And in this song too, this is probably one of my favorite choruses. It is just, it gets stuck in the head. Like the vocal lines in the chorus are so good. And the high notes that he hits, it's like, how I still, every time I hear a Crowd of Rebellion song, I can't believe how fucking amazing his voice is. Like, it's so good. Just like, listen to this. Like, how, sir? How? And then too, like another thing, kind of like at the beginning, how they had the like the rim shot into the verse. In this song too, they have like a nice kind of snare and guitar break, if that makes any sense. Like here. and then back into the song. Like, they're just very clever with their transitions, and it keeps you guessing. Like, normally, for, as I was saying before, a lot of bands just do like the basic da 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 snare hit, or sorry, cymbal hit, and then back into whatever. But here they're like, we need to keep it entertaining, and we need to keep it interesting. We need to people guess what we're going to be doing with this song, and that is what they always do, and it is impressive. And yes. And as well too, they do this nice like little vocal, it's like a very short part, but I don't know why, I just really liked it so much. They did like this nice EQing for a vocal part, like at the bridge to go back into the ending of the song. Like, it's just like a very little subtle thing. Like, just that part there, it's like they cut off a lot of the low end and just, it's almost like, I don't know, everything's kind of EQ'd in the middle, and they got rid of some of the highs and a lot of the lows to give it that kind of a sound to it. It's just a very little subtle thing that they did, and I don't know why, but I really liked it. And then they know what I love, and they end this song with this nice piano, so I feel like just skipping through that song, it could have sounded like it was 20 million different songs. And as I was saying before, they know how to take a lot of different sounds and put them into one song and make it work. And it's very apparent in Anemia. And now we move on to #Persona. And this song was the intro was something that I wasn't really expecting, because in this song, they kind of fade it into the song. Like, normally in songs, you have the beginning that just kind of like the song starts, or like it has this like, I don't know how to explain it, if you know what I mean, but there's normally not really a fade into the song. Like, obviously there's some songs that have that, but normally it's just like into the song, and then you have the fade out at the end. I wasn't expecting them to slowly fade this song in, and it was just very nice. It kind of was unexpected, as I've said a few times now, but it just made the intro stand out in this song. And again, as I was saying before in Raccoon Dead, the bass in this song is amazing, and it has like this nice distortion on it in this song. And it's just, like, A Crowd of Rebellion just knows how to play with sounds and make it sound awesome. And again, I feel like I need to make a shirt that just has a snare on it with a piece of ham on it. The amount of times that actually might be good. Let me know if you guys are interested in that. The drummer, he goes fucking ham on the snare again, and it is so good. Like, yeah, that's it. And again, they have this nice little like subtle piano in this song, and it's so good, but it's kind of, it's not really like subtle, but it's not like the main focus. It's there, but it's just so well done. And they just, like, I'm not sure if they've had too much pianos in their songs before. I need to go back and listen to all of them again. But I feel like, especially in this new album, Ill, they've been using a lot more like pianos and strings in their songs, and it is amazing. And I think one of my favorite parts of this song has to be the bridge, because they did this nice thing with like the reverse piano going into the note, and just like a lot of reverby, echoey kind of parts in there that just make it stand out from the rest of the song. And then again, as I was saying before, I wrote this down in my notes for this song especially. They're very, very smart with their panning. Like, everything is just so well panned and mixed that nothing has to compete with each other where something's like over top and you can't really hear something. They're very well with doing that and having everything stand out and kind of be clear when they want it to. So it's very apparent throughout this entire album, but especially in #Persona. And then as well, they have a lot of kind of great vocals that I think in this song would be great for live. Again, I'm not going to play them because I want you guys to go and listen to this album. But this song also just made me want to see A Crowd of Rebellion live even more than I already did. Okay, now I don't know if you guys are ready for this, but now we are on to easily my favorite song on the album, but if not one of my favorite A Crowd of Rebellion songs. I don't know if you can see here. Let's see if I can make it darker for you. If you can see there, all those stars. That's how many stars I felt necessary to put for this song. Like, normally I'd put like 1 or 2 stars if I really liked it. But for this one I put 7. I put 7 stars for this song because it is so good. It was like, it started off and I was like, okay, this is a good song. And then it just kept going and it kept getting better and better and better. And it was just so fucking good. If you have never heard of A Crowd of Rebellion before, go listen to Calling, because yes. Also too, what I wrote at the beginning of this song, it kind of reminded me of A Day to Remember. I'm not sure exactly what song it is, but like that. What song? I want to say Have Faith in Me, but I don't think it is that song. But it just, the guitar tones in that part especially reminded me of A Day to Remember. And then what made me, like, that already gave it 1 star. I think what gave it the 2nd star was the part that comes after that, was this. And this part. Like, it's just so good. This, like, what is it? Like, I don't know. It's some kind of synth or, like, sting that just does a, like, is so good. I don't know what it is, but I really like that. Again, in the song, they have such good dynamics. They have this nice, like, reverby, echoey guitar in the verses. And guitar, I wrote, actually, that's actually very fitting because I didn't look at my notes until now, and I wrote, guitars are killing it. Like, the guitars in this, not like pretty much every Crowd of Rebellion song, but in Calling as well, are just so fucking good. I also wrote, this song is so fucking beautiful. I'm just reading my notes right now, and I can see the evolution of me giving it these 7 stars. If you want, I'll quickly read out the notes and you can understand how the evolution started. So the first note is A Day to Remember guitar sounds. And then I wrote, what is that stutter? Equals, it's awesome. And then I wrote again, great dynamics. Guitars are killing it. This song is so fucking beautiful. Tom's nice and deep in the 2nd verse, which is very true. Pre-chorus, the 2nd one, is fucking beautiful. This bridge, how? This song is a fucking masterpiece. Group vocals at the end and rainwater sounds, yes. So again, it sounds like I'm just like going crazy. If someone were to just read that, they'd be like, what is wrong with this person? But like, this song just kept getting better and better. Let's go to the bridge, which is what I think gave it even more stars. Like this. Like, it's so good. And then they bring in the bass, like and then I think this is what gave it like the 7th star. Here. It's so good. Ow. And then we'll go to the end, which also I think just like solidified me being like, yeah, this deserves 7 stars. And this was the vocals I was like live. And then the water kind of like rain sounds to end it. It's just so good. So that was definitely a song that was worth all these 7 stars that I gave it. And easily one of my favorite A Crowd of Rebellion songs, if not my favorite. And now we move on to another just legendary song on this album. Normally when I'm making these reviews, I can fit like 3 songs on a page with my notes. Because of Calling in this song Boto, I hope I'm saying that correctly, I was only able to fit these 2 songs on here because I just had so many notes and just was so impressed with these 2 songs. I would say that these 2 are easily my favorites on the album. Boto is a bit different than the rest of the album because it starts off with like acoustic guitars, pianos, and vocals, and it was something that I wasn't expecting, but because it is A Crowd of Rebellion, it was amazing. And it had a very like different vibe to it, but it was still equally as awesome as the rest of the album. And the vocals, again, were fucking impressive in this song. Like, hold on, listen to this. Here. Oh my, like how? And then like this song gets this nice change into it and kind of goes into more of like a build up and has this fucking amazingness. I don't want to play all of it because again, you guys really need to hear this for yourselves. But this song is fucking great at building up and it is so well done. And they have this nice change at the closer to the beginning where like these muted guitar picking kind of sound gets mixed into it. And then the dynamics, again, are on point because as I was saying, the song starts off slow and then like builds up. Like each thing kind of gets introduced into this song. And then they also have strings, which are a yes. Strings are always a yes, and they do them amazingly because it's A Crowd of Rebellion. And the Like I've been talking about the guitars, the bass again is just like it just has this nice deep kind of vibe to it. And then throughout this song, it kind of, as I was saying, builds up, and then it goes into this like very old school kind of sounding guitar solo has like these pianos that are playing over top of it as well. But one thing that I really wanted to talk about is I want to see again if you guys have the same feeling, is that the bridge in this song gave me a very Edward Scissorhandsy vibe to it. Like I think it's like this part, like the vocals and the piano. Like it's mostly the vocals here and the piano that were like giving me that kind of a vibe. Like it's just that one part for some reason. I don't know what it is. It just like gave me a very Edwardy Scissorhands vibe. And then after that part, they bring it down to just the guitars and vocals again. And then just, as I was saying, they just punch you in the face with this awesomeness for the ending. And it is just so good. And then they have like, the ending is like this delay guitar ending with like staticky parts, like here. Like listen to that. And then you just have the reverb of everything just kind of like fading off. Their endings in like this entire album are amazing because a lot of them just have that kind of feel to it of just like everything's just kind of fading out and everything is just kind of like drifting away. It is just very fucking good. And Boto, again, I hope I'm saying that correctly, is just so well done. And now next up, we have this nice interlude called Akinsia. Hopefully I said that correctly. I really like this song. It kind of sounds like very like underwatery kind of vibe to it, like with the synths and everything. And again, in this interlude, you can hear like the panning is well done because they have a few like little subtle kind of like effects that kind of just drift back and forth. So again, fucking good panning techniques. Because this is such like a short thing, it has like a nice transition into the next song, which is the song Colorless. Now, Colorless is a fucking epic song. You can get that very easily just based off of this intro alone. Like that just gives you right there that you know that this song's gonna be fucking dirty. And they have like the guitar tones are just so nice and dirt. I mean that in the nicest way possible. They throw strings on top of that, which are very well done. And this song just is like a fucking intense wall of sound. But then it's weird because the structure of this song is well done. And I'll kind of explain why. Because normally, you know, for songs, the verses are a bit lighter and then the choruses can be a bit more intense and like heavier. They kind of flip that in this song where the verses are a lot more heavy and the choruses have this like lighter sound. So it was like a nice change up from how people normally do it, where it's like lighter verses that build into a heavier chorus. This was like fucking heavy, lighter chorus. And again, I wrote down here, again, it's apparent throughout this entire album, but especially in this song, the vocals and the screams are so on point. And then they do a nice change up again for the bridge in this song. Like, they just keep you guessing. And then this part leads into such a fucking dirty breakdown. And they're so good with the pauses, even in the breakdowns. It's like they just work so well together. And then it leads back into a great transition that goes into the final chorus. And it's just like A Crowd of Rebellion just keeps impressing me with this album. And just pretty much every song that I've heard from them has been impressive. And then you add Colorless to that list of just like fucking intenseness. And now next up, we are here with the song Noah. And this song I think is very appropriately named Noah because for some reason the strings, again, at the beginning of this, I want to see if you guys will feel the same way, kind of remind me of like a Pirates of the Caribbean kind of sound. That like the violin and the string sounds with the piano kind of remind me of Pirates of the Caribbean. And then it goes into this just a wall of yes. And this song is just one that you just need to constantly do this to. If you listen to it, you'll understand why, but your head will just do this without you even knowing it. And then the strings and the piano in this song, they have like this string piano vocal break that is amazing. And then you have that like electronic drums come in and then it goes back into the song. Again, they are fucking killing it with the dynamics. And then again, I really think I need to make this ham on the snare shirt because I wrote ham snare again and the scream part is so good. I don't want to ruin it for you, so you're going to have to find that part for yourself. But there's a part where the drummer again goes ham on the snare and there's just a very intense scream. And then they go into this very like orchestral break, which gave me chills with group vocals. Which again, just makes me want to go and see live so I can join in on these. And then it has this nice pause that goes into the final chorus. Again, A Crowd of Rebellion is very smart with their pauses and know what they're doing. And I just love them for it. And now, sadly, we are here with the last song called The Testament. And it's very sad that we're here with the last song. But again, another masterpiece by A Crowd of Rebellion. Like, the guitars at the beginning of this have this nice clean sound to them, but they also have this kind of old school feel to it as well. And then they have this like a nice electro like distortion kind of staticky sounds that go on top of that. And the song also then starts with a mini guitar solo to kick off the song. They're like, normally guitar solos are a bit of the ways into the song. We're going to kind of just have a little mini one at the beginning for you. And then another thing too that I liked is that they do like a re-intro kind of like the guitar solo part after the first chorus. And then instead of going into the same sounding verse, the second verse is a lot faster than the first verse. So again, it just makes that second verse stand out from the first verse, which I always love. It was just kind of changing it up that slight bit. And something that I'm amazed that I didn't talk about the first time talking about the chorus is that the high notes in this chorus, my God, man. Like, how does his voice do that? There's no way that is humanly possible. And then, again, them being A Crowd of Rebellion, the bridge in this, or this, like, it has this very funky guitar break. So it goes from this to... like, oh my God, how do you not like that? It's just such a nice break from just the intenseness that was the song. It's like, oh, we'll kind of give you a bit of funk and like this nice clean sound for a bit. Again, I'm gonna say it again for like the 100th time that I've probably said it throughout this video. The song is full of such good dynamics. Like, it is not humanly possible. Again, for the ending, they kind of do this, like the reintroduction again for the ending. But I love the way that they end this album. It kind of has this like flatline sound like this. And then they have that like baby sound. And I wrote down here, flatline because the album killed me, baby sound because I've been reborn. This album killed me and then brought me back to life and I'm a changed man. But yes, it's so clever and it's amazing and I love A Crowd of Rebellion. But sadly, that was the last song on this fucking beautiful masterpiece of an album. So yes, Big Macs, there you have it. That was me reviewing Ill by A Crowd of Rebellion, and this album is easily one of my favorite albums of the year. It just hands down, every song on this album is amazing. If you just want an album that is just full of awesomeness and a fucking talented group of human beings, go pick up Ill by A Crowd of Rebellion. Literally pick up any album from A Crowd of Rebellion because I don't think I've heard one bad song from them. They have easily become one of my favorite bands that I've reacted to. They are just so full of talent and I really need to see them live. So if you guys have never heard of them before, go check them out because these guys are amazing. So yes, Big Macs, if you guys did enjoy this video, I'd love it if you click that thumbs up button down below. And if you are not subscribed, you can do so by clicking that subscribe button down below. And if you wanted to make sure you never miss a new video from this face, because I do upload a few times a week, click on that bell down there and that will notify you when I upload a new video, because just do it. And also, if you guys did not know, I do have Patreon and merch. So if you wanted to support what I'm doing on this channel, you can do so by clicking that link in the description down below. If you wanted to view videos a day early, as well as a few different other rewards, you can click in that link down there. As well, if you wanted to buy some of my merch, again, the link will be in the description. And if you wanted to buy something, that would be pretty cool. But please, Big Macs, as always, please make sure to take care of yourself first. And as always, Big Macs, today's biggest Mac is going to go to Captain of Stones over here on Instagram. I wonder what stones you're are you captain of like every stone, or is there just certain kinds of stone? There's a lot of questions that I have, and if you're captain of the stones, you need to make like a... Oh no, what can you make like a castle? Do you have your own castle made of stone? That joke failed horribly. But yes, recently Captain of Stones over here on Instagram just gave me a follow and spam liked a lot of my pictures. So seriously, thank you so much for all that love over on Instagram. You are today's biggest Mac. And again, I would like to apologize for that shitty joke. So yes, Big Macs, make sure you go over onto Captain of Stone's Instagram over there. Go give them a follow. Just spam like all of their pictures and give them as much love and support as they've been giving me over on Instagram. And seriously, Captain of Stones, once again, sorry for that bad joke, but thank you so much for all that love over on Instagram. And once again, you are today's biggest Mac. But anyway, Big Macs, I want to go listen to this album again, and I need to figure out how I can go and see A Crowd of Rebellion live, if they are having any world tours coming up, or I just need to go to Japan because I need to see these guys. Like, oh my God. But yes, once again, Big Macs, again, if you have not heard of this album, you really need to. If you've never heard of Crowd of Rebellion, you need to change that immediately. So go buy this album and go buy all of these albums because these guys deserve all the love and support because they are so fucking talented. It is crazy. But once again, Big Macs, I hope that you guys did enjoy this video. And as I said before, I'm catching up on my album reviews, so expect a few more coming up. I apologize for the delay, but they are coming. But once again, I hope that you did enjoy this video, and I will see you next time. Bye.